Hey, hey!
We looked for a lecture about core web vitals, okay? Because this is super important for today's topic, which is performance. Now, we couldn't find, we sent the CFP, nobody submitted, we wanted like people who never spoke before on stage, and we couldn't find, like they didn't submit, so last moment, I prepared, and I never gave a talk, so this will be my first talk, okay? No, it's a lie. Everybody knows it's a lie. But I just did it ad hoc because I think it's super important to set the base of why this is important, why this topic is important, and where things are heading. So, core web vitals. For dummies like me, okay? This will be a super short lecture just to set the stage for next, okay? Okay, I'm Shai Reznik, just for the YouTubes afterwards. I'm a Google developer expert. I run Hi.Res.io, the best JavaScript consulting company and training company in all of Israel. And we have the best courses in the world. Okay, and I founded this group, okay, you probably know that. So first of all, why should we care? Why should we care as the business, first of all, okay? So core web vitals are the Google metrics for performance for website, and they actually are tied to the SEO ranking. So if company A and company B both have the same super cool content SEO company and agency, they compete on this on the core web vitals. So whichever is faster and produce like better user experience wins. Now, customer happiness is the second thing, okay? We don't want like, angry customers because it hurts our brand or branding. So that's another reason. And also want it for better conversions because there are multiple studies that shows that these ties like the core web vitals, and that's the study that Google showed. And also every 100 millisecond more, impacts like large e-commerce websites by millions of dollars. So that's also important. Now, why should we care as developers? Okay, and that's more important because I think most of us, some of us work on e-commerce or like client-facing web apps and such, but some of us work on B2B and all that stuff. So the way I see it, if we look into the future, in the future, the way I read the current state of things and where things are going, there will be like the age of instant web apps. This is the term because we have lots of term, progressive, hydration, multiple, all that stuff, and I just like to simplify things, so I just call it instant web apps. Web apps that loads instantly and operates instantly. Okay, that's the way everybody is going. If you see all the server-side rendering stuff that's happening, like Next and Remix, and all the goals are converging into one place. So it's great and core web vitals and all the metrics are driving this trend. So that's why I think it's super important to stay relevant and to look ahead and see what's coming is to learn this topic. And we also see like actual studies by Google that companies keep like increasing these metrics by 20% each year. So it also contributes to this trend. Now, but whenever you Google for core web vitals, okay, this is what you see. And I don't know about you, but when I saw this in the first time, this is what I felt, okay? Like, what the hell is that, okay? Like, what does all these acronyms and all the things, I don't know what the hell is that. That's why I created, core web vitals for dummies like me, because I cannot like deal with all these letters and stuff. So, so let's start. We have three core. We have web vitals, which is lots of metrics, but we have three that are the core web vitals. So the first one is LCP, or as I like to say, let's grab coffee, please, okay? That's the way I like to think, because it's about loading. The real name is largest contentful paint, which doesn't mean anything to anyone normal, but basically it's like how much time it takes for the largest content area, which has images and text, to load, okay, until the first interaction of the user. This is what it says, and a good time for it is under 2.5 seconds, okay? Now, how can we improve it? We can, optimize our images and put them in better places and such. And we can also download less code, execute less JavaScript on load, and for that, we can use techniques like server-side rendering, and also use the new edge caching, like running the functions on the CDNs and stuff like that, like Cloudflare workers and all that stuff. But these are the optimizations. We can do other stuff as well. It's not a complete list, but these what contributes to the slow loading time. Now, that's the first metric. The second metric is FID, or for image sake, do something, okay? And for those of you who don't speak Hebrew, okay, for image is your mother, for your mother's sake, in your mother's sake, do something. And or first input delay, okay? That means that, you know, when you click on something, how long it takes for the browser or like, you know, the engine to respond, even not like the actual response, but just to, you know, handle, like the handler start, you know, its process, how much time between the click or the event to the response it takes. And a good time for it is under 100 milliseconds. That's a second core web vital metric that Google is using. What are you, like washing dishes now? What are you doing? Yes. Okay, I'm in the middle, I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, so this is, okay, so this is feed, okay? This is our remember for image sake, you know, do something, okay? So, okay, how can we improve? Download less files and execute less JavaScript, okay? If we download less, okay? Because of the main thread, right? It's like we have only a single thread in JavaScript, and if we do other stuff, we cannot respond to the click, right? Okay, now the last one, okay? CLS, what does it mean? Could you load still? Okay, it's like could you stand still, but load, okay? Why? Because, or it's cumulative layout shift. Why do they need to make it complicated, okay? All it means that, you know, when you know, sometimes when you try to click on something or read something, and all of a sudden it pops down, right? It's like one time I read a news article in a shitty news website here in Israel. I won't mention their name so they won't get the publicity. But I was reading like an article super important like for me, okay? And I went to read it, and all of a sudden like they added like an ad or something like that, and I didn't even see the ad. It just like put all the content next, and I lost the page, and I started getting angry and started telling the website, okay, I'm closing it. I'm closing the website. I'm moving to another website. But I really wanted to continue reading the. So I caught myself like doing Rikshi, making the website guilty. You know, it's not okay. So I read about Britney Spears. Anyway, so that's the It was important if he getting married again. Okay, so we don't want that. So Google measuring it, they have like a calculation on how many pixels we got like dropped and all that stuff down below. And this calculation, we won't get into it because this should be a lightning talk. But it needs to be under 0.1. How can we improve? Server-side rendering, of course, not like, you know, just showing everything because the browser is very smart at just showing HTML. Downloading less code and execute less JavaScript on load. Again, same stuff because, you know, it loads and okay. Now, can you spot the trend? Okay, downloading less JavaScript, executing less JavaScript on load. That's the future of the instant web apps. That's where everything is going. That's why it's important to learn about these topics today. Thank you very much. Okay, this was the lightning talk.